Hi and welcome to the GymWolfPT vlog. Today I want to talk about success and failure and how I've turned a lot of my failures into successes and the techniques I've used, because I think these techniques can work for most people, if not everybody. So going to the start of things, success and failure, they aren't often some massive occurrence that suddenly just turns up. They very rarely happen overnight. They often come about as a result of small daily actions or rituals which we perform. For example, on a specific day or night, suddenly everything might seem to go wrong. For example, you might have problems with work, with your family, with your friends, with your home or your car. And the usual reaction to this by most people is to say, oh, this isn't fair, or why always me? As a result of that, most often people look around themselves at the immediate environment, the people who might be around at that time or the events that happen, and deem that to be the cause and the reason for the problems or the disaster. However, it's very seldom this black and white. More often than not, the disaster is built up through a combination of small acts and habits that the person or the environment has brought around, and they could have happened or started weeks ago, months ago, or sometimes even years ago. See, what I mean by these acts and habits, the things that people do or don't do every day that can build up into what seems like a disastrous event. So for example, the failure to act, the failure to say I'm sorry, the failure to keep your paperwork in order, the failure to go to the gym, the failure to do that assignment that needs to be done, the failure to eat well or eat how you know you should be eating, the failure to help a friend who's in need, the failure to clean your house, the failure to pay your bills, the failure to explain to your children when they've done something wrong, what they've done wrong, the failure to make that phone call or send that email that's required, or just the failure to decide. So obviously that's not a conclusive list. There's so many other failures or acts and habits that have a negative effect and can build. But I hope that's giving you the concept of what daily acts and habits can do to your life and how things can come about. So before you start to think that, here he is, the reaper of doom, the great thing is this can work in the other way too. So that the amazing events, think of the amazing events of your life, they often don't just come about on their own accord either. So think back to a specific day when something happened. Again, it's human nature to look around the environment or the people around and think that's the reason for this amazing event or this success. But again, it's probably not the case. It's more likely that a series of good acts and habits and rituals performed over time have brought you to this successful day or this successful event. Going off track a little bit, a good way to think about it is, in my opinion, is thinking about when a woman gives birth to a child. So on the day of the birth, an observer from outside might see this painful, well, I don't know it's painful, I'm told it's painful, but marvellous event of a baby being born. And that's it. So you might see that one day event and say that's all, it's just happened. Well, we know more than that, don't we? We know that 9 months earlier there's been an act that takes place that I'm not going to go into details, but has brought about it. And then what's happened in the 9 months preceding to the woman giving birth? Lots and lots of things. So the woman's most likely changed the diet, she's given up alcohol, she's changed the schedule. So there's lots of daily changes that woman has made, and usually the partner or husband, to get them to the perfect place where this brilliant occurrence takes place. There's exercises, there's adjustments, there's the prenatal classes, there's the buying of the clothes, there's the preparation of the nursery. There's so many things, and some of these things are very small, but they all build up and they combine so that when the birth happens, the parents are in a good or the best position, ideally, to succeed. So take that into context of life. What small acts and habits will lead us or you to success? So I've listed some more again here. Again, it's not a conclusive list, but I think things like the act of getting things done, the act of being truthful, the act of being elegant and respectful, the act of saying I love you, the act of getting fit and healthy, the act of taking care of business, the act of hiring a coach, maybe the act of learning that new skill that you know is going to help you, the act of treating people how you'd like to be treated, the act of being fair and compassionate, and the act of overcoming skepticism and making informed choices. So again, all these little habits can be introduced to your life, and you'll not see the results often straight away, but over time you start adding these into your life and the results will literally be amazing. So when would be a good time to start introducing them? Today. It's as simple as that. People who've watched me other vlogs and read me articles will know I'm not a person who always says, yeah, you should be looking to start that next year or next month. The time is usually now. You always want to, even if it's even if you just do a small action initially, you should always do something to set you on the path to success. So finally, a lot of people may say, well, I've tried this in the past and it's not worked for me, or I've tried introducing that and I've not seen results. It's key that you trust in the process, because sometimes delays are not denials. You will get it if you keep doing the good things and you bring the good habits and the good rituals into your life. You'll have the success. Sometimes it might take weeks, sometimes it might take months, sometimes it might take years, but if you do the right things, it will have a positive and a good effect on your lifestyle. So if you have any questions about this, I'd love to hear from you, but I hope you've enjoyed this quick overview of success and failure, and I hope you take it on board. Thank you.